Hi, my name is Shane McCullough, and I'm the operating principal for KWMC Metro Center. And the information that I'm about to share with you as of today, which is October the 17th at 12:30, and I'm saying that specifically because things are rolling out on this issue. What I'm talking today is at the Cappers Luncheon in Alexandria, and we're talking about the new MLS rule that just came out yesterday. What it basically says, in essence, is that you can do no pre-marketing. You can't put a sign on the ground, put a Facebook post, call other realtors, or send an email out to the public in any way outside of your firm up until 24 hours. So I'm going to say something like, if you signed a listing today and it's going on the MLS 10 days from now, you could do those activities on the 9th day before it goes on the MLS. Okay? Where I have gotten that's at 24 hours before. If you do it prior to the 24 hours before, you are given a $5,000 fine. Okay? Here's the problem with that. And to let you know the conversations that I have had. First of all, the position of Keller Williams as a region is we are not in favor of this policy. That was voted on by the OPs this morning at 8:30. Maryland is what we understand, and Pennsylvania is following suit because MLS covers 5 different states. In having a conversation yesterday with Brian, who is the CEO of MLS, Brian did not incorporate any notification to the Virginia Realtors, to DPOR, nor to NBAR. So at this point in time, they have done so without, and they have overstepped into the laws of the state of Virginia and the rules of our local board and NBAR and various other boards across the state. That is a fact from the horse's mouth, as it may be. And Brian is a really great guy, and I've known Brian for 15 years. I also had a conversation last night with Brian Conrad, who is the CEO of NBAR, and he had said that they have no notification of this. And yet their board of directors, your board of directors for NBAR, is addressing this tomorrow. And that was a regularly scheduled meeting to my understanding, although I may be incorrect on that. That said, I also have had a conversation, obviously, with the OPs this morning of Virginia for Keller Williams, and I also had a call in yesterday to Virginia Realtors CEO Terry Suit. Terry's father is in the hospital right now. I expect to have a call with her this afternoon or tomorrow. My purpose in having a call with her is to ask for emergency legal funds to be allocated pursuant to the Virginia Realtor Board of Directors, of which I'm a sitting member. The reason being is I think this is legal, and the aspect that we have got to stop this completely. Where I see this as a problem is several points. I see it under 3 things. One is antitrust, one is property owner's right, and then discrimination. As we see it today under antitrust, if you had a listing today, you could talk amongst our agents in our 3 offices, but only those 3, no other Keller Williams offices about your new listing that you have come to the market, okay? As long as it's inward facing, it is fine. It is any public facing, so you could not do anything on Facebook, etc., as we talked about a moment ago. The idea behind this under an antitrust suit is if you're an independent broker and you have 2 or 3 people, that's all you can discuss it with, no one else. And please do me a favor until I finish my comments. The reality of it is also the fact from the CEO of MLS, which is who I got this information from, is that, sorry, I'm getting a little off topic, under antitrust, say that there was a company, a large one, let's say Coldwell Banker as an example, okay? Coldwell Banker is owned by NAR, so they could intermarket that internally to their agents across all of their offices. Let's say that we were RE/MAX. RE/MAX would only be able to do it to the ones that were in their particular group, not outside of that group, okay? So that's what we think that the big brokerages are being given an unfair advantage, and that's where it comes under antitrust. And by the way, yes, I have also spoken to an attorney on this as well. Number 2 is as it gets to the right of the property owner. What happens is you go in and you sign a listing with the seller and says, hey, I don't want anybody in my house. I would prefer that we can just sell this. Why don't you reach out to everybody you know? Put a coming soon sign in the ground. Use social media to get it out there before you put it on the MLS. Well, you can't do that unless, under my example, day 9, before you put it in the MLS the day before. Then a really good comment came up about the idea of how do you get the signs in the ground all at the same time? Okay, just practical knowledge here of getting a sign. So let me ask you a question. if on the 9th day you have your sign guy who says, oh, by the way, let's think spring market here, and everybody else is doing the same darn thing in our industry, that they're wanting to get a sign in the ground on Friday so they can have it for the weekend and put it on the market. The reality is the sign guy is not going to be able to keep up. So did you do a service to your seller? No, you haven't done your job right. And it's not your fault, it's the fault of the sign company, and yet that's an unrealistic expectation of the service people who help us do our business. Okay, and this is just one small example. When you get into the discrimination portion, depending upon who the person is that is giving you direction, the seller, which is who we have a fiduciary responsibility to, he can be discriminated against because he can't get it done in the right timing that he requests. So when you wrap this all together, we have a real issue with this, and I do as well. Just to throw more gas on the fire, the National Association of Realtors had this exact thing on their agenda for the November meetings, I believe it's in San Francisco, to do this nationwide. Now here's where the problem comes in. I don't know about you, but I'll speak to myself as an agent, and I'll speak to myself as a brokerage as one, okay? That we're as one. My responsibility is to the seller. I pay to belong to a board, NVAR in this example, NVAR to protect me and to help me do my job, which is to the seller and the public, okay? I just use the seller from the science perspective, but the consumers as a whole. What is happening is what Gary talked about. We are having technology come in between, and the tech service provider, which is MLLs, come in between us as the realty company, and the seller or the consumer, because they're dictating something before we even bring it to them to service it. It was a great thing I said a few minutes ago. I thought it was great anyway. I'm helping pat myself on my back. Is that, let's say that we have an internet. You have Comcast, and Comcast says, great, I'm going to provide you the service, but oh, by the way, you can't go but to these sites. It's the same type of thing. They're regulating from afar. They're supposed to be providing you service, as long as you're not doing something illegal or unethical. And by the way, according to the state of Virginia, according to the Northern Virginia Association of Realtors, and to the Virginia Realtors Association, and to the Department of DPOR, you are legally and ethically in line in every way, shape, and form to do what is on your NVAR form that literally gives you permission from the seller to go do the activities about doing pre-listings. When it comes to some of the other industries, I'll tell you something like Compass. Compass, for example, has an outward-facing pre-listing site. They'll have to take it down nationwide. We're working on one with Command. Gary just put it in the drawer. You're not going to be able to use it. The thousands of dollars you spent to help us promote our businesses is no longer done. So we're having a service provider basically come in and tell us how to do our business. And by the way, it wasn't even notified. None of us were notified to my knowledge. And again, I'll leave that loosely because I haven't talked to everybody. And yet I will tell you that I have talked to 3 of the largest brokerages in Northern Virginia over the last 24 hours, and a list of others that I won't name just from the standpoint, but I haven't found one single broker or one single agent that likes this idea. And I know there is a plethora of other reasons that perhaps I don't know yet as to bad practice that this is. My position as a broker is to fight this. And I have also got calls into David Howard, who sits on the board of directors of MLS, and to Scott McDonald, who is also our other representative on the MLS board, and to voice our opinion. The region will be putting out a letter, talking points to you all, and I'm not sure who else to, but the point is they are against it as well. So I wanted to have this and step into this meeting, and thank you for allowing me some time to talk about it. For those of you who are receiving this, you are part of our top 20% of our agents across Kennedy Metro Center. We are actively engaged in this. I would request that you keep this as an internal video, just from the standpoint that I don't want to offend somebody outside of our little group. And if there is something that I said incorrectly, I can assure you I did so only from the standpoint of the knowledge that I have based upon it. It's not to attack anybody or to disarm or bring harm to anyone else. That's mine. Hopefully. That's my disclosure. Thank you. My disclosure, which I probably should have had written by a lawyer. And yet I want you to know that we care about this, we're active in it, we are engaged, and we are not happy about it, and we're working. My suggestions to you as individual agents is, yes, send emails to MLS. Yes, get on the Facebook page and tell about how you're not liking this, how it's not fair to the consumer, which is who we owe our fiduciary responsibility to. Tell everybody you know about it. This is a bad rule, and it, quite frankly, is overreaching on behalf of MLS right. So with that, I'd like to wrap that up, and we